Hello guys, this is Adam, aka Gaming Shepherd. Welcome back to Higurashi. Now, today, this day 14 of Higurashi, which we also left off on in the earlier episode. Things are really starting to get intense. We almost got hit by a car. Let's see, we also spoke to Rina again. And again, she stared us in a very, very disconcerting way. And, well, it's starting to look more and more like there really is some sort of conspiracy going on. Or maybe even something supernatural. Let's see. So anyway, Satoshi and I had what? All my well-planned actions throughout the day turned out to have been nothing more than a reenactment of what Satoshi had done. Satoshi, had he really been in the same situation as I was now? The friends he had gotten along with had changed suddenly, for no reason, at least none that I had noticed, planned to kill him. Then, fearing for his life, as I am, he got a bat to protect himself and carried it around every day to practice his swing. And then one day, suddenly, he transferred. My blood went cold, causing a prickling sensation to course through my veins. Starting near my heart, it radiated outwards from the top of my head to the soles of my feet, chilling every part of me without recourse. What did she mean by transfer? What did she mean by transfer? Was Satoshi still at wherever he had transferred to? Was he the only one who would be able to understand me? Would he be able to tell me why it all ended up like this? More importantly, where did they transfer to? What did she mean by transfer? What did she mean by transfer? Before I knew it, I was at my front door. The frigid knob was hard to turn. Was nobody home? It wasn't that odd of an occurrence. I reached into my pocket and pulled out the single key attached to my fur seal keychain. I stepped into the entryway just as I was about to take off my shoes. A chill ran down my spine. Someone entered right behind me. Like a classmate messing around, standing right up against my back. You're kidding, right? It had to be my imagination. Logically speaking, it was impossible for someone to be able to hide their presence within my personal space all the way through the door. But there was undoubtedly someone behind me. Hey now, Keiichi. How do you know they're there even though they're behind you? Because I could hear the sound of flowing hair. There's no other reason I'd hear that sound. That was the presence. Because I could hear the sound of them blinking. Keiichi Maebara, there is no way you could hear that. My most base instincts were warning me of the presence Common sense was telling me that it was just my imagination. It was just my imagination. There was nobody behind me. I began to raise the mental image of an eerie figure standing behind me. But at the same time, I asked myself, if there was nobody, then what was I feeling? As an uncomfortable sensation crawled up my spine. Actually, wouldn't it be better if there was somebody there? If there was nobody there when you turned around, would you be able to accept that? I'd be able to answer all those questions just by looking behind me. But I didn't have enough courage to even do that simple task. Oh, right. I could try speaking to them. The person behind me might answer me. It was a random thought. I didn't care how I went about it, just so long as I didn't have to turn around. If I had calmed down and thought about it, I would have known that that wouldn't have solved anything.
どなたですか?
I spoke in such a hoarse, broken voice that I couldn't believe it was my own. I could almost feel them contemplating the response. I felt it. There's no way I should be able to do that. Calm down, Keiichi. It's all in your head. That time, I was certain I heard it, as if hesitantly trying to answer my inquiry. I was certain I could hear the sound of somebody inhaling. I heard it. I heard it. I heard it clearly. It was a girl. A young girl. I didn't know who, but a tiny speck of courage in me, however reckless it was, inspired a primal yet fitting solution to this current predicament. Scream. All the force in my body released from my lungs and through my throat, ceasing all thought process in my head. Suppressing all my thoughts and emotions, I began to collapse like a house of cards, somehow managing to twist my body and look back as I did so. It was definitely there. Right there. Somebody was there. Until the moment I turned around, until I brought the area behind me into my field of vision, they were definitely there. Falling face up, my eyes traced the remnants of the presence suspended in the empty space. It couldn't be. They were invisible. They looked like they weren't there. But were they actually still standing there? As I screamed, all the emotions I was holding back burst free in a violent wave. However, I was decidedly calm as my emotional dam collapsed. The turbulent wave of pent-up emotions was skillfully diverted into a torrent of aggression. That emotion was definitely required to extricate myself from the bizarre situation happening right in front of me. In my state of heightened lucidity, I entrusted my body to the fury. The metal bat held firm in my right hand as if drawn there by magnet. A mid-level sweep would be the hardest attack to dodge. I remembered reading something like that from a book about swordsmanship or something. I brandished my will to fight. The after image of that amalgamation of metal flashed as it swung from left to right, beating against the entry. The bat slammed into the right wall, the tip rebounding violently. Very calmly I transferred the force of the rebound into a sweep to the left. The door of the shoe cupboard was split into pieces. Those two swings whiffed through empty space, but they seemed to have a great psychological impact on the enemy. I could feel the panic emanating from that space. The attack wasn't the only thing required. I extracted the bat from the cupboard it was embedded in and screamed as I spun my entire body around it. crack. Without mercy or restraint, my violent strike with certain defeatful force behind it shattered the top of the cupboard. None of my attacks struck the enemy, but my ferocity had certainly seemed to impact them. Breathing heavily, my entire body soaked in sweat, the invisible enemy there, but not there, dispersed. When I was certain that the enemy had retreated, I locked the front door and latched the chain. No way. Had it only feigned retreat and was now inside my house? Once again I channeled my aggression and searched the house for their presence. But it was gone. I had succeeded in fending it off. At that moment, the tension drained from my body and I let out a deep sigh of relief. All of the emotions I'd been holding back chaotically merged together and began to flood out. A hodgepodge of fear, accomplishment, and disbelief all mixed together and began to flow through my body. Unable to deal with each individual feeling, I beat them all back with the strongest exhaustion. Even in this moment, I remained composed. After checking that all the doors throughout the house were locked, I went up to my room on the second floor and closed the curtains. I straightened my back and tilted my head back a little. After clearing my mind of all my idle thoughts, I managed to calm down even more. What was that at the front door? There was definitely something there. Thinking about it, maybe it was just an apparition I dreamt up in my confused state. But I really didn't think that was the case. Calm down, Kichi, bara. Compose yourself. But no matter how calmly I thought about it, what just happened wasn't a figment of my imagination. It was obviously a supernatural phenomenon, and without a doubt, something was behind me. It wasn't some sort of illusion I saw amidst my confusion and disorientation. Proof. I had just one piece. When I asked, "Who is it?" they inhaled as if they were about to answer. That sound had clearly reached my ears. The situation I was in right now was still unclear. Either I'd been possessed by the supernatural phenomenon known as Oyashiro-sama's curse, or this was a ruse by the villagers who believed in it and were imitating it. Either way, their motives were unclear. The roundabout way it had been done was also still a mystery. If it was perpetrated by humans, that would mean admitting that it was Rina and the rest of them doing it. But it would be solvable. Uishi-san and the rest of the police would surely arrest my enemy. But if it was a manifestation of Oyashiro-sama's curse, I wondered what would happen. Uishi-san very clearly declared that curses didn't exist. At that time, those words were pretty dependable, but as things were now, with the rising possibility that the perpetrators were not human, he suddenly seemed quite unreliable. If I told Oishi-san this was the work of Oyashiro-sama's curse, what would happen? I couldn't imagine his reaction, but it would go without question that a void would expand rapidly between myself and Oishi-san. With me having so few allies to begin with, and not being able to confidently declare whether or not this was a curse, there was no merit to doing that. I'd better keep the facts of what just happened at the doorway to myself. It would be better if I didn't add what happened here to the memo behind the clock. There was still the ever so slight possibility that I was actually confused when I thought I was composed and I was just going berserk in the entryway. How wonderful would that be if that was really what happened? I would be able to refute Oyashiro-sama's curse. And if I denied Oyashiro-sama's curse, then that would mean admitting that Rina and the others, the rest, were the perpetrators. If I said that Rina and the rest were the perpetrators, then that would mean believing in Oyashiro-sama's curse. By denying both of those, I would be admitting that I myself was losing it. The three options from which I couldn't choose became a trilemma of sorts. They mixed together and formed a whirlpool in my mind, making my head spin. Once again, I straightened myself and leaned my head back slightly to cool myself down. Calm down, Keiichi. Accept what has actually happened as reality. Stop thinking of anything more than that. But I couldn't help but think of it. How wonderful it would be if it turned out I was delirious and everything up until now was a figment of my imagination. Oyashiro-sama's curse wouldn't exist and I would still be bestest buddies with Rina and the rest. I would have to be crazy. That was the first time in my life I'd ever wished for such a thing. The phone rang noisily downstairs. Generally, there were no calls for me, so I never really answered the phone much. But since my parents weren't here, I had no choice. I scrambled off the bed and went downstairs.
もしもし、前原です。
ケイチ、お母さんだけど。
I intuitively had a bad feeling about this. It was because I thought she was going to ask me to go out and buy some things. So I took the initiative.
何？別に俺、夕食はインスタントでもいいよ。まだいっぱいあったでしょ。
The other day we went out as a family and bought a whole case of cup noodles. I wanted to get a bunch of different kinds actually, but they refused since the individual packs were expensive. So instead, I got a whole case of the mega-sized pork, bone and ginger flavored ones I liked. But my parents don't like strong flavors and didn't touch any of them, so the cupboards were still full of them.
だからさ、買い物に行く必要はないんじゃないの？
ケイチ、買い物のお願いじゃないの。お父さんとお母さんね、お仕事の関係で急遽東京に行かなくちゃならなくなったの。
今から？
This was really abrupt.
もう着いちゃってるの。お昼には出発してたからね。
It's quite a distance to Tokyo from Hinamitsuwa. Gunning at full speed down the highway would still take 6 hours. Dad has a license, but since she doesn't like the highway, they likely took the train. It would have taken longer.
ケイチもお父さんとお母さんの話を聞いてたからわかるかもしれないけど、お父さんのお仕事の契約がね、今ちょっとうまくいってないの。
Now that you mentioned it, I did remember that they talked all the time about how his job prospects weren't looking so good.
お父さんはそういうのに繊細な人だから、このままだとお仕事にも影響が出ちゃうの。
Part of my father's particular, fragile autistic personality, his emotions changed as easily as the fall sky. You could also just say he couldn't take criticism.
でも、 そんなの電話でやり取りすればいいじゃないか。
圭一、お父さんのお仕事なんだからもうちょっと応援してあげてね。とにかく電話よりも直接会って話した方が早いの。誤解もないし。
As their son, there was nothing more I could say once they started talking about work.
だから帰るのは明日の晩になっちゃうの。圭一、一人で大丈夫よね。
別に死にゃしないよ。
圭一、死んじゃうなんて軽々しく言っちゃダメよ。心配事があったら相談してね。母さんきっと相談に乗れると思うから。
Yesterday I did bring up if I died rather abruptly, so I supposed they were a little worried, but really I was more depressed by the fact that nothing would be solved by telling them. But I didn't plan on dying, at least not while I still knew nothing. I'd never allow it.
死なないよ。俺はあがいてでも生き延びる。
そう。じゃあね。明日の朝ちゃんと起きるのよ。朝ごはんは食べてね。お風呂と歯磨きも忘れないのよ。
へいへい。そんじゃ。
The call ended like that. Sometimes my parents went off to Tokyo for business meetings. Tokyo was far away. They normally did things by phone. The times they did go were normally planned out in advance. It never happened this suddenly. Couldn't say that those circumstances didn't feel strange, or rather unnatural. Anyway, I only needed to recognize the reality of the situation. That tonight I was the only one in the house. But when my parents came back from work, I'd be gone, missing, vanished. Looking back on the series of events of the previous 5 years involving Yashiro-sama's curse, it wouldn't seem that strange at all. Come to think of it, it was getting pretty late. I didn't think it was good that the only light on in the whole house was from my room on the second floor. It was the same as broadcasting to the enemy. My parents were gone. This was their chance. First I ran to the living room, flicked on the lights and turned the TV on to a reassuring volume. Next was the study. I similarly turned on the lights and some music. With this, from the outside, it looked like my parents were here. Once again, I went through the house, checking to see if there was anything left unlocked. When I saw the veranda and the laundry still hanging out there, I went pale. That would have made it too obvious. I needed to take it down. I snatched down the laundry haphazardly and erased all traces that my mother wasn't there. Should be fine now. Ah, the garage! They hadn't gone all the way to Tokyo by car, but they had gone up to the Okinomiya station. The garage was empty, wide open, and in plain sight. This was not good. I panicked and rushed out the back to close the normally open garage door. It should be fine now. Ah, I need to get paper. Mom always got the paper, so she left in the afternoon. The evening paper was still out there. My premonition was correct. I pulled out everything from the mailbox and dropped it in the entryway. With this, for sure this time, it should be fine. Come to think of it, leaving the cupboard busted like that from my little freakout was kind of bad. I just see I tripped and fell, and the bat I was holding smashed into it. Even so, just leaving it in its current state wasn't good. I should clean it up a little before Mom got back and scolded me. I remember that there was broom in the dustpan in the closet. As I was going to get them, the phone rang once again.
もしもし、前原です。
あら、圭一くん、お母様はいらっしゃいますかしら。
今ちょっといないんですけど。
You idiot, Keiichi Maibara. Don't reveal that your parents are gone. You can follow up still. calm down and take care of it.
すぐに戻ると思います。
That wasn't a good response either. Now they might say they'll call again, or to tell her to call them then when she comes back.
なら結構です。大した話でもありませんから。では失礼しますわね。
The scenario I feared didn't play out, eliciting a sigh of relief. That call was fortunate in more ways than one. I'd have to deal with any telephone calls coming in for my parents tonight. I was somehow able to deal with the phone call just now. I couldn't continue to rely on such poor improvisation. I needed to make up a good story to explain that my parents were home but couldn't answer the phone at the moment. They were making tempura. They couldn't step away right now. It wasn't good enough. They were sick and went to bed because they weren't feeling well. Was that gonna be safe enough? I was thinking about it on the way back to my room when the phone rang once again. It's like they were calling because they knew I was going to lie. I didn't want to pick up, but I knew I had to. I'd suspect my parents weren't there. I should have just taken the phone off the hook under the pretense that I didn't realize that it was. But since the phone rang, I had to pick it up. I prepared myself and lifted up the receiver.
もしもし。
Stopped announcing this was the Maibara residence. I had no reason to be kind to someone I didn't know the identity of. But unlike my uncouth voice, the person on the other side sounded goofy and light-hearted.
どうも、夜分遅くに申し訳ありません。私、沖宮書房の大石と申しますが。
大石さんですか。
前原さんですか。こんばんは。お元気そうで何よりです。
ちょっと待ってくださいね。
I grabbed the portable handset and rushed up to my room with it. It was the same no matter where I was, since there was no one else home, but I wanted to be in a spot that just felt a bit safer when speaking on the phone with Oishi-san.
お待たせしました。
いかがですか、そのおかわりは。
Since then, when was that exactly? There was something about the brazen way he talked that rubbed me the wrong way. The last time I spoke with Oishi-san was 2 days ago. The day I stayed home from school, I met Oishi-san on the way back from the hospital, and we headed into town for lunch and had a talk. Then after that, Rin and Mion came to check up on me. Whenever I spoke with Oishi-san, they always knew about it. It's like that since the first time I met him. Today's phone call may well be found out by them as well.
もしもし、聞こえてますか、前原さん。
すみません。なんて言いました？
その後、何か変わったことはありませんかとお尋ねしたんです。お返事がないんで焦りましたよ。
特には。
The words stopped in my throat. There was a ton of stuff that happened. All of it baffling. What should I talk about? I didn't understand any of it. But I should try asking. If I didn't ask now, I may never have another chance. This night when my parents weren't home, I had no guarantees I would make it through the night safely after all.
大石さん、やっぱり俺、命を狙われているみたいです。
本当ですか？
偶然の可能性もあるんですが、先日俺が病気で休んだ日、夕方にあの二人がお見舞いに来たんです。
あの二人？
レナとミオンです。そしてそこで大石さんと一緒に昼飯を食ったことを正されました。
それで
お見舞いってことでおはぎを置いていったんですが、その中に針が入ってたんです。偶然飲み込まずに済みましたが、これってやっぱり脅迫でしょうか？
その針は？
よく見かけるような 普通の裁縫針のようでした。糸を通す穴が開いていて。
違いますよ、前原さん。針です。証拠になります。脅迫だと立証できるかもしれません。その針はありますか？
That's right. That's it. I dropped the receiver and rushed downstairs. When I tossed the mochi, I'd overlooked it out of terror, but that needle was a valuable piece of evidence. Let's see. I threw the mochi and the needle at the wall together. If it was there, then it would be on the living room wall. But my prudent mother had cleaned that living room wall, and there was not a trace of mochi left on it. Could it be that it dropped in the gap between the wall and the carpet? I frantically searched by running my palm along the carpet, but nothing turned up. I tried moving around the sofa and desks, pulling up the carpet, then flapping it around. I couldn't find the needle. Did my mom clean up everything without noticing it? Just 2 days ago, I don't know what day they collected the burnable trash, but it may still be in the trash bin in the kitchen. I rushed into the kitchen, opened the lid of the pail, and poured out the contents, but even at a glance, I could tell that it would be incredibly difficult to find the needle in this pile of trash. I was looking for a needle in a trash stack. I know. I'll try running my hand through it. It was a bit gross, but I was looking for a needle. If I felt a small prick, I'd be able to find it. It was a pretty tactless method, but it was the quickest. I held my breath and started striking the pile of trash with my hand. Filth flew about. There was nothing more disgusting than this, but it was not the time to be concerned about such details. I continued on for a while, but nothing turned up. I wanted to search more thoroughly, but I was still on the phone. I shouldn't keep Oishi-san waiting for too long. Later, when Mom got back, I'd have to ask her if there was a needle. I hastily began scribbling on the notepad affixed to the refrigerator with a magnet. Was there a needle? I scrawled the words with a red pen. I then dashed back up the stairs, where I'd been keeping Oishi-san waiting for far too long.
もしもし、どうでしたか？
見つかりません。あの時はつい気が動転していて。
そうですか。見つかればでいいんです。保管しておいてくださいね。
That's right. The needle wasn't the only incident. I had to tell him about this morning, the hit and run.
あと大石さん、それだけじゃないんです。実は今朝。
That van was definitely aiming for me. I could say that without question due to the circumstances at that time.
その車のナンバープレートは見ましたか？こちらでも探してみます。
Damn. At the time I just flipped out yelling at him, but I didn't look at the plate. What failures on my part with the needle and the plate number. I was so focused just protecting myself that I let some of the most important details slip out of my grasp. I punched my pillow annoyed at how worthless I was.
すみません。白いワゴン車ってこと以外はわかりません。
仕方ないことですよ、前原さん。惹かれかければ気も動転します。
やっぱりこれだって偶然じゃないですよね。
Oishi-san started to hem and haw over on the other end. I could imagine him folding his arms.
あと、レナの様子もやっぱり怪しいです。
それはどんな感じですか？
What Reina said on the way home today, asking why I was so much like Satoshi-kun. Now I could say it with confidence. That Reina knew what happened to Satoshi. She knew that there was more to it than him just simply disappearing.
レナは知っています。去年の鬼隠しにあったサトシのことを何か知っています。
それは具体的にどういうことですか？
レナが言うには、俺はサトシとそっくりらしいんです。このまま行くと俺もサトシと同じ運命をたどると、そんな感じのことを言うんです。
運命ですか？具体的にどんな運命をたどるか言及しましたか？
天候と。
天候？
レナはサトシは転校したって言ってるんです。で、俺もこのままだと転校しちゃうぞって。
Higurashi let out a stern sigh and then grumbled loudly.
前原さん、それはおそらく何かの脅迫、もしくは警告ですね。
俺もそう思ってます。
At that point, I started to think, would it be prudent to sum up everything that had happened up until now as the machinations of some human perpetrator, other than the theory of it being Rina and the others? I was left with Oyashiro-sama's curse actually existing as the only explanation. Of course, I couldn't tell that to Oishi-san, except Rina's strange behavior could be proof of either scenarios. Whether it was Oyashiro-sama's curse being real, or everything being part of a conspiracy committed by all of the villagers, Rina was involved. Rina had to know something. Rina was suspicious. What exactly was Rina? I couldn't help but think she was somehow involved with a prior string of mysterious deaths. I seem to recall that Oishi-san had admitted that he had dug into Rina's past a little. He was probably just downplaying it when he said a little, meaning he had actually dug pretty deep, most likely. I wanted to hear about Rina. I wanted to know what happened at her previous school, among other things that were still unknown to me. If Rina was somebody I should suspect. No, not that. I wanted to know the truth. Tonight, I was alone in this huge house. Even though I said I couldn't count on them, I had lost the security I felt I had just by my parents being around. It wasn't like this house was some sort of fortress or castle. If a malicious person decided to use brute force, they'd easily gain entry. There were no other residences close to the Maibara residence. No one would be able to hear anything, no matter how loud it was. I had never felt as much resentment towards my father's artistic temperament and the fact that he had his house built at such a remote location as I did right now. I wondered if I would still be here by tomorrow morning, so I had to ask right now, because I had no idea when the next chance would come.
大石さん、聞きたいことがあるんです。隠さないでくださいね。
ええ、何でも聞いてください。
Even though he was so far away on the other end of the line, this was the most reliable he had ever felt. I wanted to ask about Rina, about what happened at her previous school.
実はレナの
I noticed a sound that had been going on for a while now. Since I was so focused on the call, I hadn't paid attention to it at first, but I finally realized it was the doorbell. The time was 7 o'clock. It was past the time the postman would be making a delivery, and past any sensible time for a neighbor to be visiting. I considered just acting like nobody was home, but that wouldn't be good. That would ruin all of the work I put in, making it look like my parents were home. I need to answer the door.
もしもし、前原さん？
あ、すみません。誰か来たみたいですので、ちょっと玄関に行ってきます。
お客さんですか。すみません、すみません。今夜のお電話はこれくらいにしましょうか。
That would be a problem.
あ、いえ、すぐ戻りますから。電話はこのままでいいですか？
はいはい、構いませんよ。
I dropped the handset on my bed and dashed onto the door. I needed to make up a good excuse to get them to leave. I had a hunch it was the lady who called right before Oishi-san did. In which case it would be one of the neighbors who was friends with my mom. Well, let's say mom isn't feeling well and went to bed early. That would be the easiest option. It'd be hard for her to ask me to wake my mom up if she's not feeling well. The bell continued to ring at regular intervals. If someone didn't answer after you rang the bell so much, you'd normally give up and go home, wouldn't you? Without removing the chain, I opened the door slightly and peered out at the visitor. A chill ran down my spine. I knew it. Somewhere deep inside, I had prepared for this moment. I had tried to escape by imagining it was the easiest person to deal with, one of my mom's friends.
こんばんは。
レナ。
There shouldn't be any reason for Rena to come over at this hour. Timing also made me feel uneasy, because it was just as I was about to ask Oishi-san about Rena. I wish I could have chalked this up to mere coincidence, but those unsettling words from Mion several days ago echoed back to me.
さーてね、おじさんにわからないことはないからね。
レナ一人。
うん。
It seems that Mion wasn't with her, but that didn't change the situation at all.
何しに来たんだよ。
ねえ、圭一くん、ちゃんとドアを開けてお話ししたいな。レナは玄関に入っちゃダメなのかな？
It was true that speaking through a chained door wasn't the right way to talk to a classmate. But
うち、夜は必ずチェーンかけてるんだよ。気にすんなよ。
なら、仕方ないかな。
Rena looked at the ground sadly, but she kept smiling at least, and her effort to keep that smile up was quite pitiful. Even though she was tugging at my heartstrings, I didn't lower my guard. As long as I stayed like this, even if it made my heart ache, my life wasn't in danger. What I really feared, more than the possibility that hoodlums would assault me if I removed the chain, was trusting Rena enough to remove the chain and having my friendship betrayed. As long as the chain wasn't unlatched, even if it made my heart ache, I wouldn't have to deal with being betrayed by Rena. Since it didn't seem like I'd removed the chain from her silent urging, she appeared to give up on trying to get into the entranceway.
さ、圭一くん、ご飯食べた？
No, I haven't eaten. Since my mom wasn't there, dinner wouldn't be ready no matter how long I waited. I laid down when I got home, was woken up by the phone, and didn't have a chance to eat since I used up all that time talking. I was going to have cup noodles in any case. I could just eat one whenever I wanted to.
いや、 まだだよ。それがどうしたよ。
じゃあよかった。これ見て。お惣菜とか持ってきてあげたの。
Rina held out a stack of boxes wrapped in a cloth.
お台所とか貸してくれれば、お味噌汁も温めてあげられるよ。
いいよ、そこまでしてくれなくても。
でも、お豆腐もお野菜もたっぷりなの。圭一くん、そういうの嫌いかな。
There's no way I wouldn't like that. I love a miso soup with lots of ingredients. White radish, carrots, burdock root and potatoes, dense and fibrous root vegetables. Yeah, that miso soup looks incredible.
ご飯も持ってきてあげたから、レンジで温めればすぐ食べられるし。
Without a doubt, rice needs miso soup. Stuffing rice down your gullet, sipping miso soup in between ravenous bites. Oh yes, how wonderful it is to be born Japanese.
それからね、またお漬物を作ってきたんだよ。今度は山菜のお漬物なの。
Before I had moved here to Inamitsawa, I scoffed at the mountain vegetables called sansai, but was captivated by their charm the first time I tried them. Such a deep yet light flavor. The so-called supermarket vegetables taste rough and overpowering in comparison. If you had to describe them, then they were the vegetables for the uninitiated. To become an expert such as myself, you first had to partake of sansai. It was common knowledge around here that the Ryuga family's traditional pickles were wonderfully delicious. No matter what kind of pickles they were, they'd go so well with that fluffy white rice.
それからね。
But wait, there's more. So delicious, it seems so delicious. Farewell to my unhealthy self who said to make do with cup noodles. Rina appeared to be in good spirits and she was offering such a delicious sounding dinner. Stress evaporated from my gut and hunger reared its voracious head. At the same time my wariness of Rina suddenly dwindled. Rina did say she was alone. It shouldn't be a problem letting her inside. Though the possibility that it was laced with poison still hadn't been ruled out. At that moment, a cold chill ran down my spine once again. I couldn't understand why such a sensation had occurred just then, but the voice inside me sounding the alarm. This happy Rina speaking of this charming dinner was dependent on one premise, and that premise was that tonight dinner hadn't been made at my house, meaning it was under the assumption that my mom, who should be making it, wasn't here. At a normal household, 7 o'clock would be around the middle of dinner time. If my mom were here, I'd be eating dinner around this time as well. The fact that she brought over all the makings of a meal at this time was inherently strange. Unless she knew. Rina, did she know that my parents weren't home? But there was also the chance that this was a bluff. I had turned on the lights and a bunch of other stuff to make it seem like my parents were here. There was a chance that Rina was unsure if my parents were home, but I had to wonder. The laundry, the garage, the evening paper. There were plenty of signs of them being hastily tidied up. It was hard to say that Rina didn't have a chance to determine if my parents were here or not. but there was no reason for me to confess that right now. I should try holding on to that fact as long as I could. First of all, the chain was still latched. As long as I didn't take it off, Rina wouldn't be able to do anything to me.
ありがたいんだけどさ、もう少しで夕飯ができるみたいなんだよ。
そうなの？そうなの？
せっかくで申し訳ないんだけどさ、
Unable to think of a good way to refuse, my words trailed off weakly.
でも、ちょっとはおかずになると思うな。
悪いけど間に合ってるよ。うちのお袋ってさ、結構おかずをいっぱい作るんだよ。だから。
おかずあるの？
With a smile that bordered on a cringe, I dodged her questions apologetically. But the feeling I tried to ignore began creeping up my back again. I spoke as if my mom was sitting down dinner right now. But it didn't mesh well with what Reina was saying. Reina was talking as if she was aware of some obvious fact. And that I was aware of it as well.
ケイチ君もおかずとか作れるんだね。何を作ったのかな？
いや、別に俺が。
Trina had assumed out of nowhere that I had made the dishes. No, not so much that I'd made them, but rather that my mom hadn't.
本当に作ったの？おかず。ケイチ君が？
だから、俺が作ったんじゃないよ。お袋が作った。いや、作ってるんだよ。今。だからさ、悪いけど、レナの持ってきてくれたのは食べられないんだよ。
Trina fell silent at that moment. At that moment, I felt that the light had suddenly disappeared from her eyes.
ケイチ君のお夕飯、当ててみようか？
なんだっていいじゃないか。
ね。
The conversation might appear natural at first glance, but Reina was firmly in control. It felt like I was being interrogated.
そのお夕飯、お湯だけで作れるんじゃないかな。
おい、侮るなよ。うちのお袋のスペシャルなディナーを見くびるなってんだ。そりゃもう、満願全席状態で、すごいのなんの。
I tried my best to put on a strong front, but I couldn't grit my teeth quite right. So instead I looked like someone who was borderline hysterical. But Reina showed no reaction whatsoever, even to that silliness.
ケイチ君。本当にお母さん、ご飯作ってってくれたの？
いや、だから、くれたんじゃなくて、今作ってるんだよ。もうすぐ晩飯に。
Trina had taken that assertion of mine, that my mother was home and making dinner right now, and was completely ignoring it. I could tell that the more I panicked, the colder Reina became.
ねえ、ケイチ君。
At that moment, an uncomfortable chill crept in from the gap in the doorway.
お母さん、お家にいるのかな？
I couldn't keep up this charade anymore. Reina, she knew fully well that my parents weren't home, but I'd come too far to admit that now. Anyway, my parents were here and would be having dinner soon. That was the situation I had concocted. So I answered. I told her she was here.
いるよ。もちろん。
I could feel the humidity drying out from the surrounding air. Reina's eyes were becoming even more frigid, piercing me with their gilded glare.
どうして？
何のことかな？
Tried acting casual, but that facade was torn off me the instant I looked into Reina's eyes. That look informed me of Reina's response faster than she could open her mouth.
どうしてさっきから嘘をつくのかな？
嘘なんか？
嘘だよね。
嘘なんかじゃ。
嘘だよ
Trina's outburst sent a jolt surging through my body. Trina and I were still separated by what few inches that slightly ajar but still a shaded door could afford. Despite that, I was still being cornered. My house, which I'd considered a safe haven until now, had become more like a dark alleyway where no one could save me.
圭一くんのお夕飯当てるよ。
I knew now that Reina had already known that my parents would not be here tonight. But it was still so strange that it had come to this. Even if she somehow knew my parents went home, there was no way she should be able to guess what I'd be eating tonight. But Reina said she'd guess. How could she guess it? How could she know it was
カッ
instant?
プラーメン当たりでしょ？
That I was going to eat. Wait. The cooking repertoire of a man who can't do housework is probably nothing but cup noodles after all. Looking at this statistically, it was the most probable answer. That didn't mean she was guessing.
ラーメンだけじゃきっとお腹すくと思うな。ご飯とかも一緒の方がきっと腹持ちいいと思うよ。
This was just coincidence. Trina was just reading certain tells of mine, so the fact that she was inferring what I was thinking alarmed me. But it wasn't as if she was actually reading my mind. If it was being read, she was a demon. No, not a demon. Things like that. They couldn't possibly exist.
好きなの？
ラーメンがかよ。
豚骨生姜味。
Trina indicated that the point my answer was addressing was wrong. Her rebuttal was so short that I momentarily didn't understand the words Trina had spoken.
ごめん、レナ。今、なんて？
え？何が？
今さ、何が好きって聞いたんだよ。
It wasn't long before I regretted how carelessly I pushed forward with that question. Such a simple answer. That was, I wasn't able to comprehend it.
豚骨生姜味。
I wondered how I appeared in the moments my mind went completely blank, until the moment I was able to recover. As my field of view began to distort, slowly swirling in a counterclockwise direction, I lost all sense of balance.
なんでそこまでわかるんだよ！
I didn't even deny it. That was the type of frenzied state I was in. How could Rina know even this? Not even caring as I mashed my head against the door, I fixated my gaze on Rina. But she didn't even flinch when she saw me do that.
確かに勝った。まとめて勝った。俺が箱買いした。それがどうしてわかるんだ。
なんでかな？不思議だね。だね。
How could you dodge the question at a time like this? The chain and the door suddenly were no longer protecting me.
どうしてわかる？なぜ知ってる？答えろ！
買ったのはセブンスマートだよね。
Shiver ran up my spine. Tried covering it up with an angry facade.
だからなんでわかるんだよ！
圭一くんの後ろ ずっとくっついてたから。
何を言ってんだよ。
I couldn't understand why she was saying she'd been following me all this time.
だから、レナが、ケイイチくんの、後ろに、ずっとくっついてたの。
Like that night? That night I was absorbed in my phone conversation with Oishi-san. I didn't even sense her being there, standing behind the door, behind me, standing there, just like that.
ケイイチくんがいろんなラーメン選んでるとこ、後ろからずっと見てたの。いろんな種類を選んでたんだよね。それでお母さんに怒られたの。高いラーメンばっかり選ぶから、一種類にしなさいって。それでケイイチくん、大好きな大きいカップの、豚骨生姜味を選んだんだよね。レナも好きだよ。豚骨ラーメン。でも、大きいカップは全部食べきれないけどね。
My brain was paralyzed, dulling my senses. It might have been a defense mechanism to diminish the fear I was feeling to non-traumatizing levels. With the fear being diminished, the fog enveloping my mind was cleared away. Then, I could understand what Rina was saying, started to put meaning behind her words. Even so, my fear hadn't subsided completely. It was like I was standing at the edge of a cliff, eyes closed, so I didn't have to look down. Didn't actually solve any of the basic problems. I slowly took a step backwards, and as I withdrew, Rina advanced.
だからケイチくん、ここを開けて。レナと一緒にご飯食べよう。きっと美味しいから。ね。
Rina's pale, slender fingers squirmed through the crack in the door one at a time, as if they had a mind of their own, rattling the chain. If she'd unlatched the chain from the door, a feeling of terror would have exploded within me. But Rina didn't do that. She was simply imploring me to remove the chain. I tried my hardest to light the fuse to the powder keg in my heart, trying again and again. Clatter, clatter, but it doesn't light. Doesn't light.
開けて、ケイチくん。
帰ってくれ。頼むから、帰ってくれ。
どうしてそんな意地悪を言うのかな。かな。
帰ってくれ。帰れよ。帰れ。
The powder keg inside me finally went off. No smoldering, it just exploded. Tackled the door. The force through the door had knocked Rina momentarily off balance. I couldn't hesitate there. Grabbed onto the doorknob with both my hands, planted my feet firmly, and pulled with all my might. That slamming sound I so desired didn't happen. I could feel a tiny, disturbing bit of resistance keeping the door from closing. The source of that was Rina's fingers. Each of those fingers wriggling, squirming around like the tendrils of a carnivorous plant through the crack in the doorway.
痛いよ、ケイチくん。
It wasn't a harsh shriek, but more of a yelp she was trying to keep back.
帰れ。帰れ。帰れ。
Kept on pulling the door with all my might. Didn't even realize that if I didn't loosen my pull on the door at least momentarily, Rina wouldn't be able to pull her fingers out. And that was why the door wasn't closing.
本当に痛いの、ケイチくん。悪ふざけが過ぎたなら謝るよ。
Didn't care one bit for her apology. No matter how much she apologized, it didn't change any of what she had done up until now. Didn't change anything.
痛いの。痛いの。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。
帰れ。帰れ。帰れ。
Rina couldn't leave even if she wanted to as I trapped her fingers. Reina's white fingers had become deep red and were no longer even squirming.
ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。帰れ。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。
Reina's apologies were occasionally twisted with pain, like a broken record. She was intent on repeating it over and over. Go away, go away, go away, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it! I pulled on the door in order. Finally, Reina's fingers were somehow able to slip out from their imprisonment in the doorway. The moment that happened, the door closed soundly and I could hear the thud of Reina falling on her butt on the other side. I locked the door immediately. It made a loud clunk, voicing my reaction to Reina.
ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。圭一くん。ごめんなさい。ここを開けて。圭一くん。
Reina leaned against the door, apologizing profusely and nothing else. Confirming that I was sufficiently sealed off from her, I trudged away from the entryway. On the other side, I could still hear Reina echoing her apology. I'm sorry, those pitiful words. They would be forever seeking my forgiveness. I didn't feel bad about this at all. That wasn't out of any sort of malice. I just felt a sort of hazy sense of release that I was able to escape from Reina. Before, Mian had threatened me at this doorway, saying there was nothing she didn't know. And just now, at the same place, Mina told me the same thing. My feeble attempts to disguise the fact my parents went home had served no purpose from the start. I should have just pretended to be out and not even opened the door. My meager plans hadn't helped at all. Sawa, it was impossible to outwit them. Even though I was on the other side of the door, I wanted to get as far away from Reina as possible. 1 step, 2 steps, with each one her sniveling apologies became more distant. I sprinted up the stairs and dove into my room. As you would expect, I was finally no longer able to hear Reina repeating her endless apology. Diving into my bed, I was startled by the hard lump I felt. There's something in my bed? It was the receiver. I finally remembered. I was in the middle of a call with Oishi-san, looking at the clock. Apparently not much time had passed since I went downstairs. Could it be that my clock had run out of batteries? I talked with Reina for so long. How did almost no time pass? But the hand on the clock was ticking forward 1 second, every second as usual. As I put the still warm receiver to my ear, time, which felt frozen, began moving once again.
もしもし、大石さん、お待たせしてすみませんでした。
いえいえ、大してお待ちしていませんよ。
It became apparent that the amount of time that had passed between myself and Oishi-san was different. Over the phone I could hear an energetic voice from a sports program or something. It drove home just how far away Oishi-san really was.
今、レナが来ました。
遊びに来たんですか？
I wasn't confident that I could coherently explain the situation to Oishi-san, but I didn't need to right now. Right now, I needed to know about Reina. That's right. I was planning to ask Oishi-san more about Reina, but Reina's little visit had interrupted the conversation. What was true and what was false, I couldn't tell. The one thing I knew was the single grim reality that Reina was suspicious. I might be able to figure something out if I asked Oishi-san about her. up until now, I had regretted it whenever I forced myself to ask about things that I was better off not knowing. But looking at it that way, you could say I'd hit rock bottom. There was no possible way I could feel any more regret than I did right now. No, rather, I wanted to know if there was anything beyond this I would regret more. Forget about tomorrow. It wasn't out of the realm of possibility for something to happen tonight. I wanted to know everything I could. I was absolutely not going to die like this. Not without knowing anything. Definitely won't.
竜宮レナさんのことですか？調べましたよ。まあ簡単には。
I understood that Oishi-san was talking in circles. A bit meant I dug so deep it'd be hard to discuss with you since you're her friend.
その簡単な全てを知りたいんです。
あなたが聞いて面白いような話はありませんよ。
大石さん。
I spoke as calmly as possible to Oishi-san, who was continuing to avoid the issue. And then I said it.
竜宮レナは怪しいと思っています。過去の事件がたとえお社様のたたりによるものだったにせよ、竜宮レナは関わっています。
レナさんが怪しいと思える具体的な証拠があるのですか？
The manner in which Oishi-san spoke became very firm. Do you have some sort of proof? That was him talking as a detective.
状況証拠だけです。
そうですか。
I could tell even over the phone how disappointed Oishi-san was, pulling on the fishing line when he felt a bite, only to reel in the bait. Disappointed, but ready to cast the line once more. That's how it seemed.
大石さん、目に見える証拠がなければ動けないんですか？
What I meant was, you can't come and save me with that proof. I stuck that barb in there. As Oishi-san loved roundabout ways of saying things, he understood me just fine.
大丈夫ですよ、前原さん。あなたは私が守ります。
That was not the least bit reassuring. Oishi-san was just using me to continue his investigation. I was just gonna get killed, and my corpse would be an important piece of evidence. That was all I was to him.
大石さんの捜査は俺の生死と無関係でしょうが、俺は死ねば終わりなんです。
Oishi-san went silent on the other end of the line. That may have been too blunt, but I didn't care. All I needed to relay to Oishi-san was that I was currently in a very dangerous position.
だから話してください、レナのこと。サトシは転校しました。多分俺もそれほど遠くない将来レナの言う転校をするでしょう。ですが大石さんには俺の死体を見つけることもできないでしょうね。現にサトシの死体だってまだ見つけられてない。
前原さん、どうか落ち着いて。
I was already suppressing my agitation, even without Oishi-san having to tell me. It wouldn't solve anything if I continued to scream about my mistrust in the police. It would seem that I could only depend on myself and the bat Satoshi left behind to protect myself. Then I at least wanted to know about what happened before Reina transferred schools.
つまらない話になるのは覚悟の上ですね。
Oishi-san, realizing my resolve couldn't be swayed, finally caved.
今の俺にとってつまらない話は何一つありません。お願いします。
まずいくつかお断りすることがあります。
はい。
他言無用でお願いします。また内容には一部憶測も含まれているかもしれません。すべてが真実ではないかもしれないということです。よろしいですね。
真実ではないかもしれない。 言ってる意味がよくわかりません。
ひなみ沢の連続開始事件は捜査本部がありません。毎年の事件はここに扱われています。ですから竜宮レナが捜査線に浮上したことは一度もないのです。つまりですね、
レナの調査は警察としてでなく個人として行ったということですか？
ご理解いただけて助かります。話のほとんどは電話もしくは会って聞かせてもらったものばかりです。ですから裏が取れていません。鵜呑みにしないでほしいということなんですよ。ご理解いただけますね。
全部聞いた話だけなんですか？
申し訳ないです。個人調査ですのでね。
あれ、以前レナのカルテを見たって言いませんでしたか？確かにそう聞きましたよ。
Oisha-san paused for a moment on the other end of the line.
そんなことも言いましたかね。気のせいということにしてください。
I didn't care about Oisha-san having certain obligations and responsibilities. I also didn't care if there was no proof. Even if they were just rumors, there's no smoke without a fire, after all.
話してください、大石さん。
わかりました。
Oisha-san finally opened those tight lips of his. It seemed that Rina lived in Hinamitsawa a long time ago. She had moved to Ibaraki Prefecture just before starting elementary school. Then, following that, right after transferring, the unfortunate incident with the breaking of the school windows happened. Then Rina confided to the doctor. It was Yoshiro-sama. This was everything I knew.
私が知る話も前原さんと大きくは変わりません。
ではどこを詳しく調べたんですか？
I didn't need to ask. It was the incident right before she transferred back to Hinamitsawa.
レナが起こした事件とその後の医者での告白ですね。
はい。
大石さんはその内容を知っているからこそレナたちを疑っているんですね。
疑っています。
やはりレナたちが犯人。
ああ、いえ、疑うとはそういう意味ではない
ん。Oisha-san was the type of person to say things with confidence, but his particular words were less than reassuring.
じゃあ何を疑ってるんですか？
お社様ですよ。お社様のたたりって本当にあるのかななんてまあ。
Oisha-san's laugh was quite dry, certainly not the kind that would make you want to join in. Oisha-san resumed the conversation of the dubious circumstances behind Satoshi's disappearance, the course of events leading him to delve into Rina's past. Just then, there was thunder in the distance and a heavy rain started pouring down. It came without warning, downpour fiercely beating the ground. I had left the window in my room open a crack to let the heat out. The violent wind danced into my room, making the curtains flap wildly.
どうしました？
あ、いえ、急にすごい雨が。すみません。どうぞ続けてください。
I dropped upward still on the phone and grasped the window.
はじめに事件と申し上げましたが、学校側も被害者も告発していないので、正式には事件ではないのです。でですね、この辺りがどうも関係者皆さん口が重いんですよ。被害者の一人は片目に後遺症を残すぐらい殴られているのにもかかわらずです。学校側か もしくは表沙汰になるのを望まない何者かがいろいろ根回しをしたのかもしれませんね。またカウンセリングを担当した神経科医も職業倫理に厳格な方で。もしもし、前原さん、聞こえてます？
There was the figure of a person standing by the light near the mailbox this whole time. Even in this torrential rain, they didn't have an umbrella. They were unquestionably drenched from head to toe. In this shower, which resembled a waterfall, droplets of water dripped down from her hair. Just standing there, both arms dangling at her side. In one hand was the stack of boxes wrapped in a cloth. Her eyes focused on my room, focused on me as I was about to close the window. Her mouth was methodically repeating a chewing motion. It was as if she had something hard to chew in her mouth, with her cheeks puffing out. What could she be eating over there? How could it be that this time was more in favor of Reina, instead of the shocking developments being brought to light by Ushi-san? If it hadn't started raining, I wouldn't have gone to the window, and I wouldn't have noticed Reina, nor would I have noticed that. Reina's mouth was moving in the same pattern. She wasn't eating something. She was repeating something. What was it? Was she repeating to me? What was she saying? And why was I right up against the window, fixated on her?
もしもし、前原さん、聞こえてますか？もしもーし。
ごめんなさい。
え、前原さん。
ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。
もしもし、前原さん、どうしましたか？
Even in this torrential downpour, Reina was still apologizing. The utter self inside me drew the curtains hastily with my right hand, blocking my view of the outside. Even doing that, Reina's relentless apologies still reached my ears. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If I forgive you for this, would you forgive me for that? Please stop. Please stop. Please stop. Please stop. Sorry. I'm 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 sorry. Damn it. Why should I have to forgive her? I'm the one who wants to be forgiven. Part of me, can't you forgive me? I'd be killed if you don't forgive me, then I would forgive you. Forgive, won't 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 forgive.
前原さん、聞こえてるなら返事をしてください。もしもーし。
Split personality and the seventh mark. You know, I want to point out something. I don't know if you watched it, but in my first part of this game, right at the beginning, after the introductory sequence where we didn't know who was monologuing, when we were on the train, when Keiichi was on the train with his parents, he remarked that somebody was repeating "I'm sorry" over and over again. So that's interesting. Just like Rina was doing.
よく映画などに登場しますが、簡単に言うとどのようなものでしょうか。
複数の人格を持つことによる逃避と考えられています。
多重人格は逃避の一つなのですか？
さようです。そのメカニズムは完全には解明されていませんが、精神を守るために脳が行う防御行動の一つではないかと考えられています。
例えば貧乏な人がお金持ちになった自分を想像するという現実逃避ってありますよね。これも多重人格なわけですか？
極論はできませんが、講義的にはそう解釈できます。つまり誰にでもあり得る現象なのです。
その現実逃避の見境がなくなると二重人格になるのですか？
ちょっと難しいですね。そう提唱する説もありますし、否定する説もあります。諸説紛々です。
では精神医学の世界ではまだ多重人格というのは未知の解明されていない現象なんですか？
残念ながらそうなります。今後の研究が期待されます。
でも二重人格なんてなんだかかっこいいですよね。どういう人が二重人格になれるんですか？
なれると言いますか、なりやすいと言いますか、最近の研究では遺伝と心因が複雑に絡み合い、中でも幼少期の育児体験が大きく作用するのではないかと言われています。
そういえばこの A 君も家庭に問題を抱えてるんですよね。気の毒に。7つの人格を持つ青年 A。 では VTR の続きをどうぞ。ですがその前にコマーシャル。
Weird. What is that supposed to tell us exactly? Split personalities. Does one of the characters have a split personalities, or was that hint just meant to confuse us? Hard to tell. The seventh mart was a bargain supermarket with food and alcohol. What's this, Keiichi? So many. There's no reason to get all the different kinds, is there? I flopped all the different colored cup noodle bowls into the cart.
最近のカップ麺は凝ってて種類も多いんだよ。どれも一通りは食ってみたいし。
I knew it was pretty selfish of me, but I thought I'd at least give it a try. Keiichi, buy them in the big case. It's cheaper. Dad faltered. Well, I have a feeling it'd end up like this. Now that Dad had thrown his hat into the ring, I'd have to compromise.
それじゃあ一種類しか食えないよ。飽きちゃうって。
I was resisting as a formality. I'd already given up inside and wasn't sure which case of noodles to get. If you can't pick them, Mommy will pick them for you. Don't have to rush me. Quickly search the cases of noodles for what I want. Pork bone and ginger cup. Ginger large cup. Hey Keiichi, can't you get a more normal one? If I let Mom pick, she'd err on the side of safety and get soy sauce or salt flavored. So when I plonked a large box of pork bone flavor into the shopping cart, Mom looked back at me with an expression as if to say, "These ones?" To sure this was my last compromise, I began explaining the choice.
豚骨はうまいんだよ。大盛りだけど大味ってわけじゃないし。
I remembered insisting that the noodles I picked were the right kind. In this frozen memory in time, this encapsulated world, I didn't have the power to look around at my surroundings. So, I did what I could and reached out with my hearing and vision, sharpening my senses to find the presence I overlooked. No matter how much I searched through my field of vision, I couldn't see Irina. I rewound the situation, searching, but of course, I couldn't find her. Then, was she spying at me from a blind spot? I go through the sound and presences again, looking. I could sense the other customers. They were all mixed about, moving as they please. There's nobody looking over this way and no one trying to get behind me. Not here. Couldn't be here. Probably wasn't here. Would definitely notice if someone was right behind me, even when I wasn't on my guard. I smiled wryly at the thought of using a vague word like probably, right before contradicting it with definitely. Then paused my mental replay as a chill ran down my spine. There was definitely a presence like a shadow behind me. That was terror unlike any other. If a presence really had manifested behind me, I would definitely have turned around to check for it. But the world had moved on and there was no way for me to turn around. While carrying that frightening shadow on my back, I was gleefully running around the store, searching for a case of noodles. Running through the instant noodle section, bad-mouthing my mom. But there was that presence constantly at my back, sticking to me like a shadow. No way to see what it was. Realizing it now after the fact was horrifying and repulsive. In that moment of time, I was running around gleefully, carrying that cardboard box, tip-tap. But listening to that moment again, I could hear footsteps other than mine going pit-pat with every step. Tip-tap, 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 pit-pat, 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 tip-tip, tip-tap, pit-pat, pit-pat, tip-tap, tip-tap, pit-pat, pit-pat. While I was running, the sound of those barefoot footsteps going pit-pat were right behind me. Me running around gleefully in that closed-off moment in time. But I didn't hear it. No, I heard it. That's why I remembered it. I didn't think I had heard anything. That's why I didn't turn around. That is why I didn't turn around. That moment, the pit-pat of those footsteps were following me the entire time. I couldn't run faster and escape. I couldn't run any faster than I had ran at the time. I couldn't turn around. I hadn't turned around before, not once. Then I returned to my parents and started talking. The shadow-like presence was right at my back. Since I didn't move, the shadow didn't move. That is why it made no sound. That was all. At that time, I hadn't taken a single step while walking with my parents. I was just standing there. This was undeniable. And yet, I heard it. Pit-pat. That shouldn't be. If I took 3 steps, it followed me 3 steps. Wasn't that the rule? There was no sound other than that. At that time, the entire world had gone dark. Sudden darkness. It was the end of my reflective journey. I was tired. I wanted to end it. Someone turn on the light. Except my body couldn't move, as if I was zooming into that moment in time. Pit-pat. My past self's hair stood on end. That's impossible. That's just breaking the rules. I haven't moved. So you shouldn't be moving either. I couldn't move. So you shouldn't be able to move either. Follow the rules. Pit-pat. Yet that sound echoed in the darkness once again. The hair on the back of my neck pricked up on end. It was so close that it was hard to tell whether it was touching the hair or not. Why couldn't I move? Like how the presence was moving behind me. I quickly realized I could move. Just that I was scared and didn't want to. But now was the only time I could turn around. Something unforgivable in this moment of time. But I needed to turn around immediately, as if my entire being was trying to force me to stop. It began to administer a pain like a needle being stuck into my every pore. Turn around. Turn around. I'm not scared at all. Turn around. Turn around. I'm not scared at all. Scream I was unable to vocalize. Turned around. At first, I couldn't understand the meaning of it. What is this? Just as a person's mouth might bite into an apple, slurp the juices, and finally discover that it was an apple. My mind began to process the scene before my eyes by eating the apple. Munch, munch, chew, chew. Slurp the juices and discover the apple. Meaning, what was in front of me was... Wow, what happened there exactly? That's something to wonder about for you now, I suppose. The viewer. Vilket Kujima I bara sitter there exactly. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. We will see what happens in the next video of Higurashi. Until then, thank you for watching. Thank you very much. I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, take care of yourself. Bye for now.